Welcome back. I know that last time I said that we would be working on how to build a portfolio this week, but looking at things, I was thinking about that it would probably be a little bit more beneficial if we start talking about the different types of investing accounts that you can open up as a Canadian. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Before we build a portfolio, you need to know where your investments can live. Here in Canada, we have a few different accounts, all with their different benefits. So let's break it down. This is lesson 3, Canadian investing accounts. All right, so first up, the TFSA, or the tax-free savings account, allows you to contribute with after-tax dollars, but here's the magic. All of your growth and withdrawals are completely tax-free. In 2024, the annual limit is $7,000 and unused room carries on forward, so you can use it the next year. This makes it one of the most flexible accounts for both short-term and long-term investing. Next, the RRSP, or the Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Here, your contributions are tax deductible, meaning you lower your taxable income today. This investments grow tax deferred, but you'll pay taxes when you withdraw later, ideally in retirement when you're in a lower tax bracket. Contribution room is 18% of your income, up to about $31,000 in 2024. Great for retirement planning, especially if you earn higher income now. Then there's the FHSA, or the First Home Savings Account. This one combines the best of both worlds. Contributions are tax deductible, like in RRSP, but withdrawals for a first home are tax-free. Like a TFSA, the limit is $8,000 per year, up to a lifetime maximum of $40,000. Perfect if you're planning to buy your first home. And then finally on the list, we have a non-registered account. If you've maxed out all of your other accounts, you can invest in a non-registered account. There is no tax shelter here. Capital gains, dividends, and interest are all taxable, but there's no contribution limit. It's flexible, but less tax efficient. Okay, so we're going to quickly take a look at what each one of these different categories mean and what that'll mean for you. So tax on contributions. So for a TFSA, it's after tax and as well as for a non-registered account. What this means is once you get your paycheck every 2 weeks or however often it is, you can, whatever money you get, you can put into these accounts, and that would be your after tax. For the tax deductible ones, it's a similar idea, similar concept, but at the end of the year, when you are filing your taxes, you can decide whether you want to use it or not. And so, for example, if you are somebody who is a high earner, somebody that is earning, let's say, $120,000 a year, if you were to, say, add $6,000 to $10,000 into either of these accounts, it will lower your tax bracket. So instead of paying the 26% tax on that extra 6 to 10,000, it will lower you to a 20.5 tax bracket, and you will pay less taxes. Therefore, at the end of the year, you will get a bigger tax return, or you might not have to pay as much in taxes. So it can be really good, especially as you get up in terms of your career and start earning more money. These two accounts become very useful in terms of lowering how much money you are giving the government and how much money you get to keep. All right, and the next one is tax on growth. So this is how much tax you have to pay based on how much your money grows in your account based on your investments. So for a TFSA, as well as for an FHSA, whatever money is growing and however much money you end up making, you do not pay absolutely any taxes on it. With an RRSP, it means that since typically it's for retirement, once you decide to take out that money and actually use it, that's when you have to pay it. But as long as it's in the account and it remains in the account, you do not have to pay any extra taxes on that stuff. So it gets deferred up until when you withdraw it. And then for a non-registered, it is absolutely taxable. Typically, the non-registered is once you have maxed out all of your other accounts and you have extra money to spare that you want to invest. So this one gets taxed normally. So whatever tax bracket you are in, it will get taxed at that bracket, and depending on how much money you make. Lastly, we have the tax on withdrawals. So this is when you actually decide to, hey, it's time for me to take my money out. I want to buy a house. I want to buy something, or it's time for me to retire. So with the TFSA, whenever you withdraw, it is completely tax-free. So whatever money you make, you can pull out, use it, and that is your money. When it comes to an RRSP, typically, since it will be once you retire that you start withdrawing, the idea is that by this point in your life, you're not working. So if you decide to withdraw, say, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in that given year, then you will get taxed at that tax bracket. So this will very much so vary in terms of how much money you end up saving and how much money you want to withdraw for that year. If you say want to withdraw $50,000, then you'll get taxed at a 14.5 tax rate. If you decide to withdraw, say 60, then you'll get taxed at a 20.5 tax rate. And if you decide to pull out over 114,000, then you will get taxed at a 26% tax rate. So this more so this comes down to the lifestyle that you want to have once you retire and how much money you have saved. The first home buyers is also tax-free as long as that money goes towards buying your first home. So you can use this as a down payment. And if you manage to save $40,000, you can pull out the $40,000, put it as a down payment, and you don't pay taxes on that because it goes directly to your house. And then for a non-registered, like we said before, for the growth, this will get taxed at whatever tax bracket you are currently in, and this will get added to your total income. So if you have another job and you are doing this, then your income will be whatever money you withdraw from your non-registered, as well as whatever money you get from your job. If you're retired, then same idea. Whatever money you get from your retirement, as well as whatever money you get from your non-registered account, those two will be pooled together. That will count as your income, and you will get taxed. The tax rate depending on how much money you take in within that year. And then what is it best for? So the TFSA is good as a flexible savings and investing account. This one is great for anybody. I think everybody should have one. The RRSP tends to be better for people for retirement and for high earners, so that you can deduct your taxes and you can end up paying less in taxes within that year and push that later on. So let's say when you're in your 30s, 40s, you are earning really good money. Let's say you're earning $120,000 a year. So instead of paying that tax bracket that you would be paying, you can contribute some to your account, lower your taxes. Now you're, instead of paying, let's say, a 26% tax rate, you're only paying 20%. And then later on in life, once you actually withdraw the money, then you will also, let's say, withdraw the 60,000, and instead of, once again, paying a 26%, you will only be paying the 20%, as that is how much you pull out. Therefore, it defers it to later on in life. For the first home buyers, it's best for buying your first home, as it gives you a tax sheltered account where you can make your money grow so that you can later go and put it on a house and buy that. And then your non-registered accounts, these are good for overflow investing. So if all of your accounts are maxed out and you have extra money that you want to invest and make it grow, then you can use your non-registered account. Some things to keep in mind is that you can have all of these accounts open all at the same time and invest different portions into them. That is completely fine. The only thing is to make sure that you keep an eye on your contribution room, meaning keep note of how much money you're contributing into each one of those accounts, because they all do have a certain limit. And if you pass those limits, then the CRA, which is the Revenue Agency of Canada, they will penalize you, and you will have to pay some sort of fine on the extra capital that has been contributed. So before you even start investing, figure out which account works best for you. In the next video, we'll actually talk about how to build your portfolio and how to choose the right ETFs or stocks to put inside of your account. All right, see you guys next time. Like I said, we will be working on how to build your portfolio. And if you liked, subscribe, comment, like, and I will leave my link at the bottom if you want to start your account and open up any of these accounts, or all of them, all the accounts. Check the link at the bottom. I will have it linked to my Wealthsimple account. That way you guys can register. I get a referral bonus, you get a referral bonus, and we can start our journey together.